Hey friends, I'm Diamond Ballet, and this is my best friend, Brittany Daisy.
What up, though? You are now tuned in to the Good Girls Wild Thoughts podcast.
Yes. So, as a part of the podcast, we have this thing called the Good Girl Devotion. This is just where we give you the disclaimer as good girls. We love God, know God. He hears us, sees us, and have grace and mercy. So, this is a non judgment zone, okay?
Okay, so before we escape into the wild, we got to be clear. This is a judgment-free zone.
Uh huh.
Are we on one accord?
Yes, we are.
All right.
All right.
Good. Amen.
Amen.
All right. What's up? What's up, bestie?
Hey, girl.
Let's get right into it. My
It's
favorite
Patty Patty.
segment. Yes. Chatty Patty time.
Chatty Patty. So y'all know Chatty Patty time is where me and my best friend, we have been on the phone for years and we include y'all on our three-way. And so this is the part where we include y'all in on our conversation and we just catch up for the week. And what's on your mind, friend? Let's chat about it.
Girl, okay? It has been a week.
No, it has.
February kicked the door down and said, "What's up? I'm here."
It was like, what up, though? What's been going on? What happened?
Oh my gosh. I just feel like it was such a weird week. I was just like so off, like off centered. I tried to push through and I did, but it was just like a lazy week. And I didn't even realize that I was off until like midweek, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just been a lot. And then I guess I do have a bright side. It's kind of like a in between. So, and I've been waiting to tell you this because I think it's just so funny, but so
okay.
So, you know, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing the podcast thing. I'm doing the social media thing, and so I post about the podcast. On Facebook.
As you should. Thank you.
And, you know, I'm trying to do what I do. And so I get this totally unexpected comment from someone, and it was a negative comment. Now, well, I took it as being negative. They tried to like clean it up and say it wasn't a negative thing, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, anyway, you said it was vexed.
Yes. So I handled it the way I handled it. But then I also told my mother-in-law about it.
Okay.
And her reaction was just everything. Like, so I texted her about it, and then a couple of hours later, she texted me like, "Can you talk?" I knew she was at work, so she like called me on her lunch break to discuss the situation. And in that moment, I just realized like how grateful I am to have the mother-in-law that I have.
Ooh, because that's good.
We know, like we know people have issues with their in-laws all the time, more than not. You know what I'm saying? And I know one thing about my mother-in-law, she gonna ride for me, you know?
And that's what's up. Not a lot of people can say that.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, I was just like, you know what? I am just so grateful. Like, that's my girl. That's my homegirl. So shout out to you.
Mommy-in-law.
Yes. She listens to the podcast faithfully, and I just love that girl. And I was just, you know, I was just thinking about how people have such complicated relationships with their in-laws.
Yeah.
So not only do I have my mother that you know will ride for me, but I got this bonus mom that is my homegirl too. And you know, even though that it was a negative type of situation, I did find the bright side in it, and I was really grateful. So in the midst of my rough week, that was like a little glimmer of light.
Oh, that's dope. Not to have your mommy-in-law riding with you. That's a double blessing because some people don't even have their own mama riding for them. So to have a mother-in-law to ride with them as well, like that's super dope.
That's true. Yeah.
Shout out to mama-in-law. We appreciate you for listening. Being a faithful listener.
Right. What's up with you? You got any good
I think I felt like you this past week. Not so much lazy, but just that it was been a lot like going on, like a lot of decision making that need to be made, but also your body not feeling it. Like I don't think we give ourselves women enough grace to rest. So like because there's a lot of decisions to make, and then because my womanly body needs rest, like I'm caught up sometimes in the culture of productivity, like I gotta keep going, gotta keep doing. But it's like, girl, biologically your body is saying rest.
You
Like,
know what?
sit down.
You're right. And I read this. I guess it's a fun fact.
Okay.
It was about women and like our cycles and how we pretty much like rejuvenate every 28 days in accordance
Yeah.
with our cycle. So it was pretty much saying like from all the phases of your cycle, it takes that full time for you to get back to your highest peak.
Yeah.
Versus men, they experience quote unquote the same rejuvenation process every 24 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So what takes us 28 days takes them 24 hours.
And that's like facts that I need daily reminders of.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, because
even
you have to give yourself that time.
yeah, so you got those facts. So another fact that I saw, because y'all know we talked about health is my number one priority this year, fixing my gut health, but also becoming physically fit like I've never been before. And so, I've been going to the gym consistently, and I saw the chart that give you like how to work out with your cycle
Mm-hmm.
because of the 28 day cycling. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why didn't I know that? And it just seemed like so much more helpful. And so this week I just been reflecting on how to like be in my feminine self, you know what I mean? Like how to do my life as a woman. Like, you're a
Yeah.
woman. You know what I mean? Like, everything doesn't have to be hustle and bustle, pick a
Yeah.
decision now, woo, 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 go, go, go. Like, you
Right.
can rest, you can take your time to make a decision, and you can
Mm-hmm.
move differently because your genetic makeup requires you to,
Yeah.
So that was my week, just having that understanding, because it was just like a lot. But
Yeah. No, I get it. Well,
yeah,
thank the Lord that it's a new week. And
yeah.
even though we only rejuvenate every 28 days, the Lord said we have new grace and mercy every day. Okay.
And we need it all the time.
He will renew our strength.
Come
Okay.
on, come on. It's a new season. It's
So
a new day.
let's just woosah,
Yeah,
and we gonna keep it moving.
yeah. Keep it
Um,
pushing.
so let's get into this good girl
Mm.
conversation.
Y'all know we love a good girl conversation.
Good girl conversation.
Let's get into it.
I mean, I know I already said February just came and bust the door down,
Man, it is.
but it is also the love month. February
It is like Love Month. Wait, and Black History Month. We
and
gotta
Black
get
History
into it.
Month. And I would just like to shout out for the 100th time that we are both from the east side of Detroit.
All day.
From the east with it. And I just feel like we black be black all the time
Yeah,
anyway.
facts.
So but shout out to Black History Month. It's our time.
Facts. It is. It is.
But uh I wanted to talk about some love stuff. I think
Yes, let's
as
get into it.
women, as growing women, women of all ages, but I would
Mhm.
say particularly women our ages, it's like a weird time, like I
Yeah.
feel like we're just having a lot of emotions and feels,
Yeah.
more mature emotions and feels, but nonetheless they're valid.
Yeah.
So I wanted to acknowledge the healthy relationships, the good love, but also the challenging and complicatedness that can come along with this.
That's different.
Yeah. So
Let's
I
do
didn't know.
that.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do that. Like, yeah, that's good. Like, February is like this love month, but it's so many kinds of love that
Mhm.
people struggle with,
Yeah,
from I think when February comes and we think about love, we always think romantic.
romantic.
But there's
Mhm.
so many other relationships that require love. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And for it to be enjoyable and to receive it and to, engage with it. So
Mhm.
let's talk about it. What's your thoughts? Let's see.
So my thing is, of course, I'm married, so a lot of people have asked me like, "Oh, like what y'all doing for Valentine's Day? Does hubby have any plans?" Which is all cool. Like I'm sure he will because he's typically like the more romantic one.
Okay.
But I was just thinking about in general, like outside of my husband,
Hmm.
like how do I show up as love in the world? So I
That's
want to know. I
good.
want to know from you, like, how do you show up as love? Because, like you said, it's love in so many forms besides romantic.
That's a really good question. First off, congratulations to you for being married. Did you tell the people how long you've been married for?
Wow, it has been 7 years.
Yes,
On
that's a
October
milestone.
24th, we will be married for 8 years.
Yay! That's successful.
Yeah.
And how do I show up as love? That's a really good question because maybe, you know, we internalize so much
Hmm.
how love shows up to us in our doorstep, but we don't reflect enough on how we give it
Hmm.
and approach it and create it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and produce it. So that's that one I'm a little stuck on, like, dang. But I think for me, you know me, I'm pretty passionate about creativity and doing things. So I think a lot of my ways and how I show up or give love is through my passion for creating
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
collaboration with people.
That's good.
Yeah. I have a deep passion for connecting with others and also making sure it's a good time or we having a genuine time, you know? And then I'm present. I think my presence is how I show love. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I hear what you're saying and, you know, I see the next steps you're trying to do and I'm really engaging with people. That's one
Yeah.
way in how I show up for love. But I think also like maybe let's spin it. Like instead of just thinking about for people, what other things are we doing in life with love or that we actually do love? You know, like um, you know, I love to travel. I do have a liking for gardening that I will love to tap into. But how
Mm.
often do many of us really do the things we love so we can
Yeah.
show up in that space? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So it's like, how do you honor the things you love?
Yeah, like
Because I feel like as women,
prioritizing.
right?
Mhm.
I feel like as women, we tend to put ourselves on the back burner. Um,
Facts.
we we focus on the obligations, the priorities, the
Yeah.
family, all the husbands, the kids, whatever
Yeah.
those things are, the careers. Like we
Right.
very focused on those things, but it's like outside of that or including those, like how do you
Mhm.
really like sit back and honor what you love, how it makes you feel, like do we ever give ourselves a
Mm.
chance to prioritize the things that simply make us feel good,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
um and I'll answer.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you that. Like, do you think you know how you show up as love aside from what your husband tell you? You know what I mean? Because you can have a thought and an idea of how you show up as, but do you think it aligns with how he see it? Like that's
Mm,
even with me as a mom. Like I can say I show up as motherly love like this, but her
right.
response could be different. So, what about you? How you show up? Isn't that like a hard question?
That is a hard question.
And that's a good question. Good job. You did good, girl. You did good, girl.
So I okay, let me see. As far as my husband, like you said, like I think I show up and show my wifely love. But then there's also moments where there's things that I think are just regular or even things that I don't enjoy, where I
Mm.
can tell that he is receiving love in that way. For
Mm.
example,
Mhm.
cooking, right? So I know that's cliche to be like, oh, whatever, but I don't really enjoy cooking, let's be honest. I don't enjoy cooking all the time. Um, and sometimes I just don't feel like it. So, and he doesn't complain about it. So I didn't know
Mhm.
that it was an issue or even just a concern, like that he would want me to cook more.
Yeah.
But when I cook and when I cook regularly and his reaction to the food is just like request, I can tell that he feels loved when I serve it
Mm.
that way.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
as far as like friendships and non-romantic relationships, I would say I show up like similar to you, like being present, but I think I have a deep willingness to like go through the thing with you.
Mm. Yeah. Mhm.
I think it's kind of just natural for me. Like if my friend is having an issue or a concern or a challenge, like I think I'm like the one that people call and I'm willing to process the thing with you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would say that's how I show up as love.
I mean, as the recipient of your love, I would say that is, how I receive your love when you are present and when you are laboring with me. And I think
Laboring.
that's the one thing that a lot of people don't do. Like, that's what we're losing in communities. Like, when you have community, you have people who are willing to labor with you,
Mm-hmm.
willing to, like, help you go through your birthing pains or whatever pains you got going on, or whatever it is that you're trying to walk
Yeah.
new in. Like, that's why community is important, because people are there to labor with you. But I do think you show up in that way. So, like, for you, is there other areas that you feel like you can put more love into? You know what I mean? Like, the things you actually do enjoy, because I feel like, love is all around us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we only focus on how we receive it and who, like people, who's giving it to me. But if
Yeah.
love is all around us, there's so many forms in how I can engage with love. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So for you, like, what does that look like? How do you honor it? Like, where is that in your space?
So I'll say that's probably something that I need to work on.
Mm, that's real.
So for the example that I gave, I do think I'm the person that tends to focus on the obligations or prior-
Mm,
prioritize the things that need to be done, especially when
mhm.
it comes to business. Like, I would consider myself a serial entrepreneur. So I'm always working on a new project. I always got a new idea. I'm always
Right.
doing something else. And so I'm more so like productivity focused versus
Yeah.
enjoyment. So one of the things that I even said at the beginning of, well, at the end of last year that I wanted to focus on was like starting hobbies. Because I realized that I don't really have any hobbies because I don't just simply do things for enjoyment,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I do want to start prioritizing love or the things that I love and just really like, I guess, not being afraid to be quote unquote non-productive, like it doesn't always have to be about something that's getting me to the next step or that's going to produce income or, like it doesn't have to
Right.
be about
Right.
things. I do want to just kind of slow down a little bit
Yeah.
and romanticize the simple things in my life that I truly do enjoy.
Yeah. Taking it all
Mhm.
in.
And then I guess also just being honest with myself and being okay with the fact that maybe I don't even know what this Brittany, enjoys.
Yeah.
Like
No fact.
I've changed so much. And,
Yeah.
it's like, do I even truly know what I love and what I enjoy?
No, that's real. A lot of us probably don't know the answer to that question
Hmm.
because we're always looking for external validation to figure that out, you
Hmm.
know? So I think for me, I probably along the lines of like the things I used to love are changing,
Hmm. Hmm.
so to receive love all around me and to grasp and acknowledge that it is all around me, I think I'm learning what's the new things.
Yeah.
Travel will always be there. I
Yeah.
love pools and water, that will always be there. I love photo shoots, that will always be there.
Hmm.
Like,
You do.
those are things that I enjoy because it's
Hmm.
creativity. Like, all of the creativity is going nowhere for me to see it all around me. I love a good time. Like, I really do just love music, laughter, and good people in a good time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it don't have to be for somebody's birthday. They don't have to be for nothing. It's just like laughter. Oh my God, Daisy. You know
Hmm.
how I love juicy foods. Laughter is almost like a juicy food to me. It's like,
You know what?
chef kiss.
So yeah, so I think I'm the same with the laughter. Like I love to laugh. I love to be funny. Like I love, like and
Yeah, playful,
yeah,
childish.
it's funny that you said that because yesterday I had made a comment to you on our regular conversation and you
Uh-huh.
were cracking up. Like you thought it was so
Oh my
funny.
God.
That made me feel so good. Like, dang, like that was funny. Like
Toast today, I did that. That was funny.
and I've realized that I even do that at work. Like I'll make a joke and people be laughing and it fills me up. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
makes me feel good. even like my nails, like I recently, thank the Lord, found a very good black nail tech.
Ooh, shout out
And
to her, Black History
shout out to
Month.
her. Yes. Shout out to Mia. I don't want to even give her information because I don't want her to, I kind of want to gatekeep this one.
Have no time for you.
I know, I'm sorry. Ooh. I am gonna make it. I'm gonna do a reel about her. So if y'all catch it, I'll catch it. If you don't,
That's
I
on
don't know.
y'all.
But so I've really realized that I love the experience of getting my nails done, of choosing nail art, like all of these things that
Mm,
typically I would just choose as like an efficiency, like, okay, I got to get my nails done because I like to have manicured nails, so
yeah,
I would go to
yeah,
the and
yeah,
just go through this process that wasn't pleasurable. But
yeah,
now I'm taking the time to slow down to, it takes a little more longer to get my
yeah,
nails done now, but she's doing it with more care. She's
yeah,
paying attention to dry skin and like
yeah,
all of these things. And
yeah.
so I had sent a picture of my nails to another friend and she was like, "Oh my God, I love that you're being festive," because I got like a Valentine's Day theme on my nails.
Oh, cool. Look
And
at
so she was,
you.
yes,
That is.
she was like, "I love that you're being festive. I'm so proud of you." And so even in that moment, it was like, oh, because I typically wouldn't do this because I'm usually about efficiency and just getting things done.
Being practical is gonna
Right.
last me for next week, but what am I wearing next week? I got an interview, whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
Mhm,
So even just in that, it's like, okay, this is something that I love. Like now
mhm.
this has to be a priority. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want to make myself feel good and even the smallest little thing so I can recognize that love is literally in every
everywhere.
thing that I do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think if more of us human beings recognize if we lead in love, our lives will be more fulfilling.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That almost feel like my Love Valley quote for today.
So, okay. Say it again. Oh no, don't say it again. Just mental note it. Mental note it.
Right. But I say, I'm gonna hang on to that. But yeah, like we just gotta have that understanding, like just that's the direction and not always trying to be selfishly looking for validation. Like it's
Yeah.
okay to give it. It's okay to project it, produce it, create it. Like
Hmm.
love is abundant and
Oh,
it's a cure.
abundant.
It's a cure
Oh,
for all of us.
wait, let's stop right there.
Okay.
Love is abundant.
It is.
Because again, going back to like the romantic focus of love,
Hmm.
we feel like by a certain age, if we haven't found the partner, if we haven't had the children, if we haven't, created this life that we think we should have, it kind of like this unworthiness seeps in, or we kind of feel guilty for indulging in other things that we love, like
Yeah.
how you just said, like travel has always been a love, it's a priority for you.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that people who may take that love thing, the travel thing, as their number one love, it's
Yeah.
almost like they have to defend that,
Yeah.
but when you said love is abundant, it
Yeah.
just be like, no, it is like love is literally limitless. It's limitless amount
Man,
of love. It's
it's
limited
like
amount of
air,
everywhere.
water.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
one of the elements. It's one of the and it's not only if it's one of the elements, it's abundant because it's something that lies in all of us.
exactly.
You know how many people there is in the world? And you know how many people who um love has been stifled because things didn't happen. But just imagine if every single person in
Mhm.
the world unlocks that well of love,
Wow.
how much the world will probably be healed better. People will feel seen, heard. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's how abundant it is because it's literally within us. We literally can draw from ourselves what we need
Yeah.
to
Oh, from
give to
ourselves.
someone else. You know what I mean? Like that's how uniquely we are created. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And we have the tool that's literally in us. We don't have to go outside of us to feel it or create it or produce it. You know what I mean? Like we really can go from within and out and just keep doing it, like that.
And I think it's also it's reflective, right? So the
Mm.
more you pour out
Ooh,
the
that's
love,
good. That's
the more,
good.
the more you pour out the love, the more you love yourself and it exudes in
Yeah.
everything that you do,
Yeah.
you're going to attract that. Like the
Yeah.
love it's gonna be full circle. You know,
Yeah.
like love is literally going to leave you,
Yeah.
spring up out of you, and then return.
Oof, 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 oof,
Like
oof.
guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Like 100% guaranteed the love is going to return. Now it may not come in the form that you want or
Yeah.
expect, but
Yeah.
it's going to return to you.
So it's a currency.
It's a currency.
We have to learn how to use the currency.
Love is currency. Wow, that's
That sounds like an ending to me.
it does.
Of this good,
It's like, oh,
of
now I
this
got all my
good
value
girl
quotes.
conversation. Like that was really good. Love is a currency. So, what would be a valley quote from that? As
Oh,
we wrap, and the valley quotes, guys, is for you that have heard this conversation and you find yourself in the valley of not feeling loved or seeing it or where to find it, grasp it, how to produce it and create it. Valley quotes are created so you can hang on to that while you're in the wild, while you're in the valley to help you get to the other side of that
mhm.
journey.
My valley quotes. Let's see. Because love is a currency, and we have decided that it's abundant as well.
Yeah.
Ball out, ball out on the love. Don't be stingy. Ball out.
Yeesh, that's good. That remind me of big timers. Gator boots with the
Hey,
pimped out Gucci suit. Like you mother ain't got no job. Like
they fly.
ball
Like
out on
ball
love.
out on love.
Hey, I guess mine's is draw from the well.
Well, yeah.
Draw from your well of love.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty in you. Just
No,
draw
that's
from it.
good.
Don't
Just draw
look
from it.
out, look within. And
Yeah.
that's where you will be full and thirst will be
I mean,
quenched.
and with you saying that, like, again, we know top number one baseline that God is love, right?
Fact.
And so, with you saying that, God is the well that never runs dry, you know? So, it's literally like draw from this well, like, it will never, ever run dry.
You make a way in a wilderness.
Yeah, wow. This episode, I didn't know what to expect from it, but I feel more loved. Like I feel
Oh.
like just in this lovey-dovey mood right now. Like,
Oh,
like this episode feels like a hug.
it does. I would have to agree.
It
It
feels like a
this
hug.
episode for me feels like a great reminder.
Hmm.
Not to chase anything, but to draw from self,
Draw
to
from
draw from him.
mhm,
You know what I mean? Like, why
the
are you
God
chasing it?
love that is within you.
Yeah, the agape love that's within you, the unconditional love he has for you. Like,
Mhm.
don't chase it. Just draw. Like,
Draw.
go and make a withdrawal. You know what I mean? Like, no, this was really good. I didn't know what to expect either.
I
I
did.
didn't know what to expect. Oh, as you can see, y'all, we just be used by God. We told you, we just be
And this is
used.
literally how our conversations go.
Verbatim, this is how it goes, where we find healing in the end, and or we get new perception or a new discovery or revelation, and y'all just witnessed it on the three-way. What up
We
though?
in the wild. We in the wild.
This
Figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, and you guys are too. We all are, right? So this is the part where, it's the good girls tidings, the good girls news, so you can figure out how to stay and keep up with us. And so our main page that we want you to subscribe, like, comment, and share from is our YouTube channel. And
Yes,
it's called
yes.
GGWT podcast, and that just stands for Good Girls Wild Thoughts Podcast. It's easy to find, easy to subscribe to, easy to comment on. We need you there. But then also head over to Instagram and our Facebook, where you can find us at Good Girls Wild Thoughts Podcast. And our audio will be coming soon to your Apple Podcasting and Spotify.
Yes. And then let me just note that we have the wild card segment, right?
Right.
So send us your wild cards. You can DM us on Instagram, or you can send them to our email, which is ggwtpodcast@gmail.com. So send those wild cards, those questions, the conversation topics that that you may not want to expose to the world, or that are a little taboo or unconventional. Send them in to us, and we will highlight them and discuss them right here on the podcast. It'll always be anonymous unless you specifically tell us that you want to shout out. Otherwise, again, it's a judgment free zone, and we just want to talk about these things with you.
Freedom conversation is our gut and our
Mhm.
goal.
Yeah.
So, Daisy, let them know. Remember what?
Remember, when you are doing what you're supposed to do, God will meet you exactly where you are. Stay
Stay
consecrated.
consecrated, y'all.